Good evening folks, and welcome. And I'll start the video off with a question. Am I a glutton for punishment? Because I've just been out and bought another Decca Compact 4, even though we all know I scrapped one a couple of months ago. But I've been out and bought this one tonight, and it had a couple of issues, but I've sorted it all out. Apart from I've got to spray the controls, not done that yet. The amplifier was down on one side and almost down on the other. Meaning you got sound out of one channel and not out of the other one. So, because I scrapped one, I had a good amp, so rather than repair the amp board, I just swapped the amp out. The turntable, the lad I bought it off, when he got it, it was seized. But he unseized it, and in unseizing it, when he unseized it, seizing it, he basically loosened all this, all the centre spigot was all loose, and all this was turning. You could turn this just by hand, you know, the whole lot. So I had to take the deck out, and I had to tighten that up, all this up, and the way I did that the way I tightened the centre spigot up was I removed the auto changer from the cabinet, obviously, and what I did then, I got my hammer, my little brass hammer, and a screwdriver, and basically I just tapped the very base of the spigot, and you know, just to tighten it all back up again to how it should be, and that's all lovely and tight. The turntable used to rock, it doesn't now. The whole deck moves. Turntable's lovely and smooth. The cartridge needs to be replaced because one of the one side of the actuator that the stylus sits on is actually broken, so that needs to be replaced, but that's not a problem. The auto stop for the cassette didn't work. That was just a blown fuse. I don't know what it is with these, but that fuse always seems to, every one of these I've had about 4 of these, and well, this is about the 5th one I've had, but every single one, the auto stop fuse seems to be blown. Don't ask me why, just always is. Anyway, I've got to spray the record switch. Although it does record, it plays and records quite well for what it is. I mean, this is the later version of the Compact 4. The earlier version had them horrible ribbon cables in that did nothing but go faulty. Well, this hasn't got any of that. And the other change they made, they give you on the top here to have the option of 4 speakers or 2 speakers. What was the button? What was that top button on the other one? Do you know, I can't remember. Let me have a look, because I'll soon know. Oh, it was tape link. Yeah, it was tape link. So what they've done, they've taken the tape link off, and they've got rid of the tape link feature and put the option of having either 2 or 4 speakers switched on. Well, I've got it obviously set for 2 speakers because I'm using 2 speakers. But I've got the original Decca speakers with this. I gave £40 for this, and I've got the original Decca speakers, and I got the stand as well, and it's in lovely condition. But you can tell this is the later one because the aluminium front, the aluminium trim on the earlier ones, the lines on it are painted black. These are not the silver on this one. And as I say, there's a difference, like this button here. It selects how many speakers you've got on instead of a tape link button. And the meters are different. they're just symbols in that one. On this one, on the old one, it was numbers. The auto changer is the same. The radio board, to all intents and purposes, is probably the same. The amplifier is certainly the same because I swapped it and I put my good amplifier in. Because that was one of the good things about the one I scrapped. The amplifier worked great. And the speakers, they weren't without their issues, but I already knew this. I expected what I'm going to tell you next. The speakers suffered from foam rot, but luckily I had two 8 ohm speakers, the right size, exactly the right size to put in. I've got the original speakers here. I'm not going to mess about fucking about reconing and arsing around with them. They're the original speaker. Oh, hang on. They're the original speakers. You see, they've got a little whizzer coil, a little whizzer cone in the middle of them. I'm not gonna mess about trying to do anything with these. I could buy new foam and do it, but I'm not going to, because the ones that are in there, they fit and they're working perfectly, and they're the same diameter, they're the same size, and they work great. So what we'll do, we'll start off with the record player. The record player now works absolutely brilliantly. Let's just lift that off there because I don't want it playing the first track. There we go. You can hear the cartridge rubbing on the record because the actuator's gone, but that's both channels. That's the left channel and that's the right channel. Right. I might even be able to fix that cartridge. I'll have to have a look at me. I'll have to have a look in my cartridge box. See if I've got. See if I'm able to find a part. See if I can find an actuator that'll fit it, and I might be able to repair that cartridge. Both channels of the cartridge do work. I'll have to give it a further inspection. I mean, the actuator's hitting. I mean, it's catching obviously, but when you stroke it, that's when you notice the difference. Actually, you know, bullshit. I'll have to look at that cartridge more closely later. Anyway, let's go to the radio. That's FM. You can slide it down by doing that. Well, hang on.
And they can see what we're doing out here in Holland. Touring the theatres in Holland and Belgium.
Fabulous, I'm sure people will be typing YouTube as we speak. So players out.
So that's working, but the aerial's not in the right place.
Phobia. Glugs.
for AM.
There are just 2 days until Wilder versus Fury.
Looking at that area and the impact.
That's the radio. Now the cassette recorder.
To forget my feelings of love.
That's the right channel, and that's the left channel.
Trying to forget my feelings of love.
And that all works. And if I pop a blank tape in, saying that, I'll pop a blank tape in, the fucker probably won't fucking work. We can find the tape. I did have one before. There we go. Let's pop a tape in it. Pause. Record, play. But we're only recording through one channel there. That's it. Just needs the buttons cleaning. And that's recording through both channels. Put that back onto there we go. There we go, folks. That's the Compact 4 Music Centre by Decca, and this one now lives again. I will clean the switches and stuff later. I'll do all the switches and stuff later on, and I've got to stick this bit of trim back down on the turntable. That's coming loose. But this even still had the plastic protection, you know, the stuff that they stick on to protect it. It still had that in the plastic protector stuff. It still had that on in the middle here. I can't believe the condition of this thing. It's unbelievable. you know, the nick that this is in, it's unreal. It's actually an exceptional nick, and you know, it's. I think it's brilliant for its age. It's you know, well worth. I think to be honest, that's nice and tight now. That I think to be honest, it was worth the money. I mean, there's no abuse on it or anything. The top's got hardly any marks on it. It's all it's got really is just, you know, through dusting really. Whoever had this has looked after it. It's very clean. All the writing's where it should be. None of this is peeling off, apart from that bit there. You know, it's been in a very good, kept in. It's been kept in a good place all its life, because there's no, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. These usually fall apart. Underneath the plastic goes brittle, and the threads wear, and the screws all fall out, and the dial drops and scratches all this, but and you can't turn the fine tuner because of it, because the radio actually drops. But this hasn't. This is a lovely nick. It's you know, the deck's not all scratched up. It's got a bit of nicotine stain in here, but I can live with that. You know, I've got another one of these cartridges, so I don't have to peel the sticker off, the trim off there. I can just swap that cartridge. But I'm going to have a look, see if I can replace the rubber actuator. If I can, then I will. But if I can't, then I'll just throw it in my cartridge box, because the transducers are okay. But I could stick a modern Crosley cartridge in it, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna. I have actually got one of these sonotones, so I can put that in. In fact, this is the stylus out the other sonotones in here, because the other stylus didn't sound very clever. So, you know, but we're done. I'm really happy with the deal I did. I think I got good value for money on this one. I think I got a good one here. I will actually at some point repair the original amp. I'll find out what's gone wrong with that, and I will repair that. The speakers have been done. I expected the foam to be rotted, because I've known about this foam rot problem, but the front's easily removed, and they're the original Decca speakers that would have come supplied, which is nice to see. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, and the guy I bought it off is a guy called Tom. If you're watching, Tom, cheers fella. And you know, like I say, keep me details, because if you get anything else, you can just ring me up, or you can just Facebook. Well, you ain't got my number, have you? You can just Facebook me about it. Just inbox me, and if it's something I want, I'll just come and get it. Won't argue. Like I didn't with this. I just told you to keep it for me, and I came and I got it. And I don't know what's going to happen with this, whether it will find a new home or whether I'll keep it. I'll probably keep it for a bit. I like to hang on to stuff for a bit. But I had one of these back in, I got hold of one of these back in 1987 I got one, and I did a deal with a guy for a cheap Sharp Music Centre, because he wanted something smaller than what this was, and and the Decca Compact 4 I got from him actually had issues. The tape ran too fast for a start. There was a problem with the tape running too fast, and what else? Oh, it had them daft ribbon cables in. I had to sort all them out. It was one of the older ones, like that scrapper that's behind me. But yes, I'm really pleased with the way this has turned out. And the last one I had that worked just as well as this one does. This one works just as well as the last one I had, the last one I had that I regularly used in my bedroom when I lived with my parents back in 1987. When I was still living at home, I had it in my bedroom, and I had it for years, and I don't know where it went, you know. I can't remember where it went. I know I sold it, but I can't remember where. But I know I sold it. Someone bought it. I can't remember who. But I had the thing up until what? From 87 till I don't know, 87 till about, don't know, about fucking 89, fucking 1990 or something. I had it up until, and I sold it. But you know, and that didn't have the original speakers or the original stand. It's nice to get the original speakers and the stand. You know, I just think, yeah, you know, brilliant. Really pleased. You know, it's turned out nice. I haven't even cleaned this yet. I haven't needed to. It's lovely and clean. It's, you know, it's not far from mint condition, I'd describe it as. It's better than average. It's better than average, definitely. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks. I'm going to listen to me... listen to me, Johnny Mathis. Can't fucking remember, can't see. Where's my fucking I can't find my glasses. Yeah, Johnny Mathis. Yeah, I'm going to listen to me Johnny Mathis tape. Right, you all take care, folks, and I'll catch you all later. And I was going to, I was going to actually show you me doing some of the work on this, but to be honest, I haven't really had to do anything. It's I've just changed the amp because I had one in, so I didn't have to repair the old one. I've got the old amp. This is the old amp here. That's the amplifier module I took out, and it's just 3 plugs, and probably capacitors or transistors or something daft on this. I'll go through it. I will repair it. I will actually go through and repair it, because you never know. So it will get repaired at some point. Just not at the moment. I mean, if I hadn't have had an amp, I would have had to have repaired it. But as I've got one, I don't have to. So that's sorted that problem out. Anyway, I'm going to get back to my Johnny Mathis tape. You all take care, folks. I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Oh, that was what I was going to say. The main reason why I didn't show you me doing really any of this is because I did one a few months ago. I did that one I scrapped a few months ago. You saw me do that, so there wasn't really any point me showing you this one, because you know, all I've done like is change the amp, and I've serviced the record deck. You've seen me service record decks 100 times. In fact, you've seen me rebuild one. You saw me rebuild this very model. There's a video on YouTube on my channel of me rebuilding this very model of deck. So you've seen me do that. So there's not really been any need to, you know, there hasn't. So there we go. Anyway, folks, listen, you all take care. More to come. I'm off, and more to come later. Bye for now.